Pleasant memories, honestly, pleasant memories. In our time, you know, we didn't have armed robbery, drugs wasn't much of a problem. And having grown up in a family, the last out of 5 children, you know, grew up. Pleasant memories, nice. I went to Ibadan Grammar School. You know, from there I finished, I went to the US. Growing up in Ibadan has always given me pleasant memories. And I've always identified with Ibadan. I have a home in Ibadan, I have offices in Ibadan, I'm always in Ibadan. I'm an Ibadan boy. One of my classmates was there today. You know, we grew up together. And a few of the people I probably would mention that you will know, they were my seniors in school. You know, but I grew up with the likes of the Orede children, the Laley's, you know, the Oni and Sons in Ibadan. And of course, you know, one of the guys that was quite prominent there today, one is Yakaka, is a pharmacist. We were roommates when we were at the university in Oklahoma. We shared a room together for 1 year. Well, the job started when I came back in 1974. And when I came in 1974, there were a lot of opportunities. You know, probably I came in at what I want to call the right time. Then you had the Udoji Award. Then you had a lot of things, you know, a lot of vehicles coming into the country without the air conditioning, without stereo. So there were opportunities in those areas. And when I came back, I decided that let me start importing car stereos because cars were coming in without stereo. So also, to be able to combat the issue of theft, we started importing removable car stereos. And as you know in business, one thing leads to the other. And that's where we found ourselves today. Okay. I think the major break in business was the importation of removable car stereo. You know, those days I was able to bring it in and I was able to, you know, instead of having to really have to wait to open letters of credit, I was able to bring it in. And as of that time, you know, we were able to bring it ahead of competition. And that really gave us a strong head start. Once again, I think the gratitude goes to God. Like anybody else, I have 2 hands, 2 eyes, you know. But what we've been lucky about is that we put a lot of premium on making sure that when we go out there to resource a company, we look for the very, very best. And I think we've been very lucky in that area. We have very competent, highly competent people, devoted, you know, people that are quite honest in running most of the businesses. Plus, certainly, I have taken a lot of time to make sure in any business we play any major role. I ensure that I know the business very well. It's easier for me to be able to add value to issues, and that's why we've been able to get this so far. Honestly, I've always believed that we will make it, and that was the whole essence of the, you know, spirited efforts we put in place as of that time. The issue of CIL was most unfortunate. I don't want to use this opportunity to revisit it, but it's part of the problems we have to face in nation building. You know, there's been 1 or 2 mistakes here and there. But if, because 1 or 2 mistakes have been made, if there are 1 or 2 problems, if people like me will shy away from those issues, the question is, who then is going to do the business in Nigeria? Somebody has to do the dirty job. But probably, Adenuga is supposed to be everybody's donkey. But listen, the issue here was that CIL, we went there and we told ourselves we are not going to leave the bidding room without a license. And we drove the price to 285. There was no question about that at all. And luckily for us, we found the money. We were able to find the money. Along the line, there was a mistake. The frequencies given to us, the frequency was litigious. And it was earlier given to somebody who went to court and whatever, trying to reinstate his rights. And on the very day, it was a final day to make the payment. Somebody made a call to BNP Paribas in Paris and told them, gentlemen, the license you're about to finance is a litigious license. Of course, You're talking of $285 million. Naturally, everybody developed cold feet. The next thing we started doing was calling our contacts at NCC, brainstorming and saying, look, what do we do? Where do we go from here? What do we do? The only alternative left for us to be able to salvage the situation as of that time was for us to remit the entire sum with a caveat into the account of NCC at Chase Manhattan Bank in New York, saying that please keep it on their account till we are given a fresh license. And we kept the money there for three weeks. And we made a lot of appeal, a lot of contacts and what have you. But honestly, with gratitude to God and with gratitude to this government, I mean, I know the workings of government fairly well. With gratitude to God, with gratitude to this government, today we have a basket of licenses. I think what happened was not personal, because he had a personal, listen, the government, if they don't want us in the business, there's nothing we can do about it. And for us, we've always realized that we have to go into this business. I'd always wanted to go into this business. And we said, look, the only way to do is it's a big business. As you're well aware, big business doesn't fight government. They work with government, and that's what we try to do. And luckily, I think he ended up well. The Globacom itself is an homegrown world-class initiative to address the issue of telecommunications in Nigeria. And it's largely, it's 100% Nigerian, it's indigenous. Most of the staff of Globacom, they are Nigerians, driven by Nigerians. And we believe that we should meet the customer's expectation in a very affordable manner. And that's why we've deployed the latest state-of-the-art technology, and that's why we introduced the per second. The per second billing itself, as you are well aware, is that billing that makes it exact. You talk for 5 seconds, why round it up to the next 1 minute? You talk for 5 seconds, you are billed for 5 seconds. A call drops, it takes 2 seconds for the call to drop, you pay for 2 seconds. Now, you can make a quick GSM call for as little as 4 or 5 naira. Just make a quick call to your wife and say, look, sweetheart, I'm home in 30 minutes. For as less than 4 or 5 naira. And I think that's what Nigeria wants. As you are well aware, Globacom is Nigerian. The brand itself is Nigerian. The aspiration of the brand itself is to meet the yearnings of Nigerians. And that's the focus, that's the driving force. There's nothing we have ahead of competition. Those challenges they are facing, we are also facing them. And the only thing I can tell you is that our determination to be different, our determination that, listen, at whatever cost, we'll provide it for Nigerians at affordable prices. And I can assure you as much as possible, we will not give Nigerians excuses. Now, you have to build your cell sites, you have to put 2 generators, you need to do everything on your own, the infrastructure is not there. But I guess what we also have ahead of everybody is that we are Nigerians. We've played actively in all key segments in this country. We know this country absolutely very well. We know Nigerians, we know the yearnings of Nigerians. And the Globacom proposition is a huge, well-focused proposition, founded on the basis of satisfying that Nigerian customer. Some challenges, but I can assure you, we'll try to do better than competition. I find time to relax. I spend a lot of time in my gym. I also visit with some of my friends, and relaxation for me has been that moment when I'm able to get away from it all, either in the gym, in the squash court, or visiting with some friends, and just putting business aside. What I think they should do is a combination of so many things. First and foremost, whatever business you are in, you must know your business very well. In business, well, you talk of occasionally being able to strike it, but you don't get too far relying on flukes, First and foremost, try to know your business, try to know it very well. and you have to work hard at it very, very well. You have to close market. Business, it doesn't work well on its own. You have to close market from one stage to the other. And of course, you pray to God, and I beg for God's blessings. And I think by God's grace, those potentials like Adenuga looking around the corners, I think they'll get there.
Tech innovation and lifestyle. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. www.youtube.com/Digivation Network.